This is an alien giant that has just been captured by humans. The military sent a large iron plate, 300 meters high, and sealed the giant directly in a narrow metal box. When it was completely isolated from the outside world, it was immediately sent to a 100-meter-deep underground base. Humans wanted to dissect the alien into 1/800 pieces and tried to obtain advanced technology for alien civilization from it, but they didn't expect that this alien creature was made up of nanotubes. If you magnify this, replace diamond 10,000 times, you can clearly see that there are many nanotubes biting the diamond. And they have super strong reproduction ability. They can split into countless pieces in a few seconds. At this time, a scientist in the lab also found something strange. A diamond that was harder than a diamond was gradually swallowed at an amazing speed. The scientist was scared and wanted to leave here, but he was suddenly called by the officer outside because he found that the protective suit had been eaten by a bug. If he was released at this time, the world would be in a destructive disaster. The scientist desperately asked for help, but the officer still let him restart the drill. As a result, in less than a minute, he was swallowed by a bug and died on the spot. However, something more terrible happened in the next second. The iron lock that trapped the alien was gradually corroded at a visible speed. Even the hard bulletproof glass also had a strange crack. The officer saw that things were not going well and started the burn button directly. The high temperature of 1,000 degrees burned for 5 minutes. As a result, when the smoke had disappeared, the alien was fine. Then he slowly raised his hands. When everyone was stunned, the alien split into countless nanotubes and began to attack humans. The officer was scared and wanted to run, but the lab was completely blocked by the outside world, and no one was allowed to leave here. The nanotubes swallowed the bulletproof glass at an amazing speed. In just a few seconds, it swallowed everything around it completely. Armored forces outside are waiting. Armored forces around the world are ready to deal with this kind of emergency at any time, but the more terrible disaster had just begun. Suddenly, a loud noise and a few tons of steel door were blown out hundreds of meters directly. Countless nanotubes sprang out in the next second. Whiskey Task Force, engage. What's more terrible is that when these nanotubes are attacked, more nanotubes will be split in an instant. The more intense the fire, the more shocking the split is. The soldiers began to retreat backwards, but it was too late. In an instant, the entire armored force was completely swallowed, and through satellite observation, there were no survivors in the entire force. It was so terrible that it was unimaginable. At the same time, a huge black mist was moving south. The truck driver suddenly found strange cracks on the glass. Then his truck was swallowed in an instant. Finally, it disappeared on the road. As long as the black mist is where it comes from, everything will be eaten up by them in an instant. Even the stadium with tens of thousands of people was turned into nothingness in an instant. And what's more terrible is that the more you eat, the more shocking the split is. Then the black mist flew towards the crowded city. Humanity is about to face a terrible disaster, but only this man can kill the bug. It turned out that a few months ago, a huge satellite ball landed in the city. Curious people flocked to watch, but the ball suddenly emitted a wave of energy and took away the people's lives. The military, who got the news, rushed to the scene. They surrounded the ball and were ready to fight at any time. And at that moment, an alien walked out of the ball and shook hands with humans. But suddenly, a gunshot rang out. The alien was hit by a soldier's gun. That is, this violent shot almost cut off the civilization of humans. Then a man slowly walked out, of a 100-meter-tall Nami giant. He winked. All the weapons of the military disappeared in an instant. Then he winked again, accompanied by a deafening sound. All the people around him were shaken to death. He reached out his hand and was about to pinch Xiaomei to death. The fallen alien spoke in "Oh, time to stop." The Nami giant stopped attacking after receiving the command. Then he stood still and shut himself down. Humans brought the alien back to the lab for rescue, but the alien suddenly began to retreat rapidly. After 3 hours of cell regeneration, it actually grew hair. In the end, it became an alien that looked like a human. Experts asked him what his purpose was for coming to Earth. He said that he came to Earth to save humans, but the expert was reluctant. He also planned to break the alien and get their advanced civilization from it. They brought the alien to the lab. He was connected to an electronic device that explored the Dai's brain. However, these devices are all low-level small ears. He caused the device to malfunction through electronic devices. The expert was accidentally electrocuted directly. Then the expert did it again. His consciousness was completely controlled by the alien. He said the route to escape the lab involuntarily. Then the alien connected to the surveillance camera outside through the line. He observed the deployment of the guards outside. Then he connected the headphones through the brainwave and released all the guards out directly. In the end, the alien walked out of the lab in a big swing. At this time, he became a human alien and touched the blue crystal ball with his hand. All kinds of fish in the water and frogs on the shore were thrown into the ball. At the same time, all the balls around the world called the animals together. They left the Earth with all the animals like Noah's Ark. They flew to outer space together. At the same time, the program to destroy the Earth had started. Where the insects came from was a piece of broken rock. No matter what material your building is made of, it is guaranteed to be eaten clean within a few seconds. Humans are also about to face a disaster, and the only thing that can save humans is this alien man. Xiao Mei begged the alien to stop all this. They hid in an air-resistant cave to escape, but at this time, Xiao He suddenly bled a nose. It turned out that he had been invaded by the rice worm. At this time, Xiao Mei also found out that she had been dead for a long time, but Xiao Mei still begged the alien to save her first. Xiao Mei's action shocked the alien. It turned out that this is the unique emotion and love of humans. Then he grabbed the hands of two people at the same time and sucked the rice worm out of their bodies with the intention of finally, the alien decided to give humans another chance. But the present, we change. Under the astonishment of Xiao Mei, the alien walked out of the air-resistant cave. He walked near the light ball with the bite of a sandstorm. Then he struggled to get up and raised his hand to touch the light ball. In this way, the destruction program was completely shut down, but he was also turned into a void. As the light ball spread in a circle, all the rice worm groups lost their lives. They fell to the ground like rain. In this way, humans fortunately avoided a crisis. The world was once again restored to its previous calm. This movie tells us to cherish our current Earth home. Don't over-destroy the Earth's environment. The last alien in the film didn't die. He followed the light ball back to his own world.